Hi everybody, I hope the good people amongst us are well, of which there are many, uh, although we do know that we are being infiltrated by an increasing number of twats. But I just want to do this video, hopefully it'll be the first of a couple today, but I want to just reset the focus as to what this channel's about so that everybody's aware. This isn't just a fanboy Formula One channel, which is what keeps getting projected by certain twats in the comments section, which we just have to ignore and we have to focus on this. And it's this line underneath, it says it at the top, but people ignore it, or some choose to ignore it, and that's this. This channel has been created to expose the true reality. Now, if I click on this, it'll tell you, which is what I wrote. This channel has been created to expose the true reality of systematic corruption that is taking place in the sport of Formula One. I do not care if some of those that have chosen to come here to subscribe to the channel to tell us what they think because they like what it is that they're seeing. I don't care what you think. I'm exposing what is real, what is true, and what is wrong. So if you don't like that, you didn't have to come here, you didn't have to subscribe, you don't have to comment on each of the videos that I make. That's your choice. That's your lifestyle choice. That is something you've chosen to do. That's what you're obsessed with in life. Okay? The purpose of me creating these videos is to seek justice. The purpose of you commenting on those videos is because you don't like these videos. Now, it, those of you with the ability to reason can probably identify what's the most concerning aspect. But we will see. No doubt some people would like to share their opinions about that in the comments section. So, this says almost 12 months on, and it's now over 2 years on. But we'll still keep plugging away because this is not going to go away. As much as they want it to go away, it's not going to go away. That post office inquiry took 20 years. We witnessed this. 108 million people globally witnessed this corruption with our own eyes. And then they tried to tell us, oh, you didn't see that. That's not how it is. Well, I'm telling you, this is how it is. And you're not going to get away with lying to everybody. You've got away so far, but we're going to actually make everybody see the true reality of this. It is going to happen because we're not going to drop this until it does happen. These corrupt fuckers, which are the sport of Formula One, Liberty Media, and all of the media that have been complicit, which is every single one of them, need exposing for what they do. Now, why am I bothered about this? It's not because of a love for Formula One. It is a love for sport in general and the authenticity of sport in general. Formula One isn't my favourite sport by a good measure. It's alright. It can be occasionally entertaining, but it's certainly not there's the 5 or 6 sports that I'd rather watch ahead of Formula One. Um, but the key thing is that people watch it and people have their minds altered by what is presented to them with relation to Formula One. And when something is corrupt, it is dangerous. When it pollutes people's minds and belief systems with a corrupt agenda, that impacts society. When people wake up to the fact that they are being presented with lies and with an agenda, they will then realise that this is not the only facet of life that this has happened to them in. Their entire lives are impacted by agendas and by lies being spun to present things to be a certain way, which aren't the truth. So, this is an example that we can use, we can evidence that clearly identifies the lies that have been told and how the mechanisms have been used to convince the masses. And those people that have been convinced are the fools. They don't like being told that they're the fools. Nobody likes being told that they're a mug for believing something. And they like to argue. They like to tell you that you're the foolish one. But that's not how it is. That's not how it is. Now, you might not like hearing that you've been lied to. You might like the lies. You might like the outcomes that you've been given. But ultimately, you've been lied to. You either can't accept it or you want to fight for that outcome to remain because you're so passionate that you like it so much. Well, that's a you issue. That's a you problem. If you can't handle the truth and what is real, and whether or not you like or are passionate about an individual, your lust for that individual to succeed or another individual to fail actually clouds your judgment of a situation. That's a you problem. But you are the sort of person that will jump up in the comment section with your negativity. So I'm not going to engage with tools like that. And I would say to the 90% of people that are subscribed to the channel that are good people, just leave them be. Okay, let them come here, let them have their little circle jerk, let them self-affirm with one another their polluted views of toxicity where they've got no clue about what's true. And there's a reason why I've not deleted them, and that will become clear. I've said it before, but it will become clear. There is a purpose why I don't delete these people. Okay, it is all part of what is going to be evidenced as being part of the dynamics that have been manufactured by this corruption. The damage it has done to the minds of individuals who don't even know that it's damaged their minds. This is part of the problem. This is part of media conditioning. And what it's done, it's caused conflict. And whilst people are fighting, the perpetrators are getting away with the benefits of their corrupt way of operating. But again, we'll drill down to that as we go. Before I'm going to do a separate video because I don't want this one to go on too long, but I want you to just think about it this way. Think of every sport that you follow and every sport that you are passionate about. You know what that sport is about. You know what happens in the sport. You know when something happens, this is what's going to follow on from that. This is what the rules of the sport are. You know, these are the procedures. Okay? You know in the last few minutes of a football match, we've got to the end of the 90th minute. The fourth official is going to hold up the board telling us how many minutes are going to be added on for stoppages at the end of this game. And somebody's been fouled, or there's a penalty given, or there's a this is what we know about sport. You know, if you like cricket, if you like rugby, if you like hockey, if you like athletics, if you like the American sports, there's loads of different sports, tennis, whatever it is you might like, you know what that sport's about. Why is it with Formula One they don't seem to know? Why is it that, think of any sport that you can think of, and you get to the closing stages of the event, whether it's the last few minutes of the game or the last section of, if it's a road race, whether it's athletics or cycling, or if it's tennis and you're into the final set tiebreaker or whatever it might be. you know what's likely to happen, or you know at least the set procedure of what needs to happen for the conclusion of the event. But Formula One, something happens in the closing stages, and the whole sport, the whole world goes, "Whoa, shit! Shit! What's gonna happen now?" As if you don't know. As if anything can happen. Well, no. In sport, it's not a case of anything can happen, because there's a set of parameters which that sport needs to be conducted within. And we got to the last, and I'm going to do a video of this and I'm going to evidence it because it's evidenceable. It actually happened, and there's footage of it actually happened. You all watched it, and I'll replay the sound. I can't replay the images because they'll block that on copyright, because they don't like me playing their footage to incriminate them, right? But we got to the last 5 laps of an event, and it's, oh shit! Something has happened now, and nobody knows what is going to happen. And are we going to see this? And are we going to see that? And oh, is it going to be so exciting? What are we going to see? Well, it's none of that, really, is it? It's none of that. Quite simply, a car has crashed, which has caused a massive issue. That being, it impacts safety when there is a track with cars driving around that track that in places 200 mile an hour, and there's now an obstacle on that track. So we have to stop them cars driving round at that crazy speed. We have to clear that track up, make sure that the track is safe to go racing again, and then before we do go racing again, what we have to do, we have to make sure those conditions are reset for all of the competitors so that that race can be resumed in a fair manner to all the competitors. Makes sense, doesn't it? Makes sense. But that's not what they tell you. They employ the likes of Martin Brundle to go, whoa, shit! What can happen now? Anything can happen now! But no, it can't. Anything can happen now. It's not just a free-for-all. It's not just a, oh, well, let's roll the dice and see what shit happens, because that's not a sport, is it? That's not the way that a sport operates. But these kids in the comment section keep dropping their comments like it's hot, loving it. They don't get that. They don't get that because they're 14-year-old little wankers that have got nothing to do in their lives other than being at their computer screens, masturbating away and leaving comments in the comment sections to channels that they don't like. This is the lives that they lead. Okay? So ignore those fools. They don't understand that they've been lied to. They like Maxwell Verstappen. I like Max Verstappen, right? So I will try and fight and defend his honour, his fake title, with trying to discredit and undermine somebody who's exposing. But actually, you've been lied to. The world has been lied to by a corrupt regime that's manufactured an outcome to a sporting event, and in doing so has made themselves billions. Because that's the key here. The entire show has made itself billions through corruption, but through manipulating a sporting event that it is sold to the world as being an authentic sport that people will have bet money on because they felt they were betting on a authentic sporting outcome. People thought they were buying into through spending their money on being able to watch the thing, whether that through buying tickets to the event live or buying TV packages to be able to see the thing, investing their time, their energy, their money into it by buying the merchandise, all because they want to see authentic sport and invest their emotion in authentic sport, and it's been manufactured. You've been lied to. That's a fraud. That's deeply damaging. Now, if you don't like that, if you don't like it being told to you that way, well, I can't help you. All I can do is tell you how it is, and if you don't like what I'm saying, not a problem, okay? Stay asleep, stay in your little cocoon, being happy to be fed the bullshit, and you don't have to subscribe to the channel, you don't have to watch my videos. If they wind you up, okay, if you don't like the content, you don't have to watch it. If I come across videos on YouTube that I don't like, okay, I don't subscribe to them channels, and then each time that channel creates a new video, I don't watch that video and then leave a negative comment, because that's not normal behavior. You know, leaving comments always saying, oh, this YouTube creator is mentally ill. Well, what's more mentally ill, I would suggest, is the behavior of subscribing to a channel that you don't like just to leave comments about things that you don't like. Do something different with your life, okay? Do something different. If you don't like hearing that this is corrupt, or you can't cope with hearing that it's corrupt, don't. That's fine. Do your own thing, okay? Carry on in life, go merrily along, thinking that your life isn't impacted and you're happy. But there's many of us that do see it. There's many of us that realise that whilst this is about Formula One in this particular context, the mechanisms being used are mechanisms that are used elsewhere in life, in political forums, and in things that will impact our lives negatively. And hence, it needs to be exposed. More people need to wake up to it, because that is the only way that we can start changing things in this world. Changing things for the better so that our lives aren't impacted in the same way, through the same levels of corruption that operate elsewhere in things that do directly affect each and every one of our lives. But we get 14-year-old wankers in the comment section that think that, oh, let's try and sabotage the channel with our comments and our thumbs downs to say that we don't like this comment, we don't like this channel, we don't like this content because we like Max Verstappen. But, you know, they do not see the bigger picture because they're brainless little pricks. But this is the world we live in. They've got a social media account and they've got an opinion and they like to share it. Don't engage with the fools. And watch my next video where we'll go through the audio in Abu Dhabi again, where, you know, this strange sport, or is it a show? This strange sport where they don't know what can happen. Bit strange that, isn't it? Oh, what's going to happen now? Well, quite simple, isn't it? And not one form of media has ever explained it to you. And when one comes along and explains it to you, you get some kids that can't cope with that. Get some kids that, despite it making perfect sense, want to keep arguing. Going, oh, no, 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 it's this, it's this. No, 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 no. You don't get it. Rather than just project your ignorance, take the time to learn. Take the time to learn. And then realise who is the liar. Who's been paid to lie. And who is just trying to expose it for a greater purpose. Anyway, see you all soon.